Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
Today we're going to be talking about the Alabama versus Vandy game and a couple other upsets and stuff that happened throughout Week 6, but mainly the Alabama Vandy game. Um, this game was a good game. Started off and you thought, man, this is going to be a replay of last year. Vanderbilt had everything go right for them until the end of their second drive, obviously ending in a pick that kind of got Alabama some momentum, got them back in the game. If I had to give this game a rating, um, the RD scale, whatever you want to say. I would say a good 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, just because of the fact that it didn't go all the way to the end. As far as like the last couple seconds, a big play happens, wins the game. But it did go all the way down to like the last 5 minutes because Vandy was still in the position to be able to come back and make it a close game.
Yep.
But what are you thinking, RJ? What do you think about the game?
I'm gonna give it around a 7 or 8. I mean, this game was really good until the fourth quarter. Honestly, in the half, Kane Womack finally made halftime adjustments, and they they looked like a dominant defense out on the field in the second half. So I'll give this game around 7 or 8.
So let's start off with the things that we noticed the most on Alabama's defensive side and Vandy's offensive side. We'll start off on only kind of that play in field. I think Alabama defensively to start the game was a little slow. I think Vanderbilt kind of did what they not necessarily what they wanted to, but they were able to push the ball down the field a little bit. I think you saw a couple missed assignments as far as the big run that went for a lot. There was just a missed gap integrity, like the stuff like that we've been having problems with that still showed up and allowed them to score. And the same thing that happened with the Pavia big run. But the thing about it is you kept it just limited to those two big plays, and after that, there wasn't really a whole lot more. That was a huge play that was just a missed assignment. So it works out good, except for the shovel pass that went for a couple, 20 or so, the first initial one. But that was just a good play call. I think Alabama's defense improved a lot. Just talking about first half, right? We'll talk about first half. I think they didn't play terrible, right? Just to give up 14 points, but they also didn't play great. And the reason why they didn't give up more points than what they did is because Alabama's offense was able to, create drives in the second quarter and really score the ball. Alabama was really good with time of possession, and that's where I really feel like this game was won. Is how do you beat Vanderbilt? Okay, you keep
Y'all,
Diego Pavia off the field.
y'all have been really good with time possession these last 3 games. I think y'all
Mhm.
averaged what? I think y'all had like 35 minutes.
Against Georgia, 37 this game. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever you keep the other team's offense off the score, you usually will win a football game.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll talk more about what I thought happened to the Vanderbilt defense kind of more towards the end of the podcast. But, what did you see in the first half that was alarming to you that you're like, oh, no, Alabama may be back in a trap game with Vandy? I wouldn't even
I
say a
mean,
trap game. They're ranked number 16, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, to be honest, Diego Pavia was just doing what he wants with the ball, and he had when that when Bama had that turnover in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that changed the momentum of the game, and that's when Bama clicked. But I thought Vanderbilt was going to run this game in the first half, or even the first quarter. I mean, everything was going right, like you said, for Vandy, and Vandy just couldn't do it. And
Mm-hmm.
Bryant Denny. I mean, that stadium was loud. I mean, I heard like the loudness on the TV. It was vibrating my
Mm-hmm.
house.
It was ridiculous. I think that's one of the loudest Bama games I've been to in a long time. I think the crowd was absolutely rocking, and it was consistent throughout the whole game. Even whenever Vandy kind of grabbed that momentum right there to start the game, the crowd was still had a presence, which I
Yeah.
felt like was huge. And then whenever Keon Sabb had that pick, I mean, it just erupted, and it was amazing. Talking about Vanderbilt. Or Vanderbilt's defense against Alabama's offense in the first half. I think Vandy looked really, really good on defense, and this is why. This is why I feel like Vanderbilt looked so good against Ty Simpson that first half is because of Ty Simpson in the Alabama offense. Um, Whenever Ty would walk up to the line and make a check call, or he would make some type of blocking assignment, the whole Vanderbilt defense would shift, and everything that Todd just called went out the window. So that's why you saw the clock run down so fast, and you felt like we were snapping the ball at 1 second, which is a good thing. if that's what you're meaning to do to keep time of possession, which that's what Bama was doing. But it felt like Ty Simpson was still making adjustments with 4 seconds left to go instead of getting ready to snap the ball. And I think you saw a lot of Bama fans panic. I think a lot of it's due to wanting to run the clock down and also Vanderbilt making last second adjustments that throw Ty Simpson off, which they did better than a lot of teams that I've seen this year that we've played. Georgia did it as well, but I'm telling you, Vanderbilt did it perfectly. I mean, the whole defensive line shifted. Safeties walked down, linebackers backed up. I mean, it was just all in sync, and it was about as good as you can do it. And that gave us some fits in the first half.
Yeah, Vanny looked very comfortable in right Denny in the first half, but everything just kept on going wrong for Vandy, and then Bama got the momentum from that, and they ended up winning this game. I mean, was it a really 30-14 game? No, it was a good game. If you look at the scores, like dang, Vanderbilt got blown out by Bama. No, they did not. It was a very good game. I like this game, very physical game, and Bama looked really good. And so, even though Vanderbilt lost, I still think Vanderbilt's a playoff contender. I feel like. I mean, Vandy's really good.
Vandy is a good team. I think, in the second half, what really surprised me and what really made me happy to see was the defense make adjustments. Womack go into the halftime, make adjustments. And I think the biggest factor in this game was you only had 3 penalties, which has been a knock on Kalen DeBoer in these types of games for a while. You only have 3 penalties. So you're seeing discipline show up. And then you also had 37 minutes of offense on the field. So as the game went on, RJ, tell me, do you think this Vandy team, it's kind of a given, you could start seeing Alabama starting to be able to run the ball more? And my personal opinion, I think it's because your defense was on the field for 3/4 of the game.
Yeah, Vandy's offense did not help out the Vanderbilt's defense at all. I mean, Vanderbilt's defense was on the field a lot of times in the second half, and that I felt like that was what won Alabama the game.
Alabama continues to do pretty good on third down, 7 for 15 on third down, 25 first downs, whatever. 2 for 3 on fourth, and Ty Simpson made a great play late in the game with a little jump pass to Isaiah Horton to get that first down to really keep the drive moving. Ty Simpson showed out again. He actually threw his first turnover of the season. Alabama's offense had their first turn of the season. And it was one of those ones that you just feel like maybe he didn't see the guy because, he was there the whole time. And it looked like he just kind of blonde through it.
I think he just forced it, honestly. It was 4th down. He was about to get sacked, and he just forced it.
I think, it's one of those things you're already on 4th down. May as well throw it and try to let your tight end make a play. Yeah. The ball's just got to be in a better spot for him to be able to actually do that. Jam Miller, he's getting better and better. You got to think this is his second game of the year, and he already looks great. And that's huge.
If Bama run game did not come alive in this game, I feel like Vandy would have won this game. But Bama's run game looked really good in this game. And I was surprised about it. I didn't think y'all could run the ball. But especially against Vandy, I think Vandy before this game lit up 80 yards or less in the run game every game they played. And Bama executed the run well, which opened up the pass, and Bama did its thing.
Let me ask you something. I've been waiting to ask you this for this podcast. Do you think Alabama's the best team in the SEC right now?
Right now?
As of right now, do you think Alabama's the best team in the SEC? Texas loses at Florida.
Yeah.
John Mateer's hurt at Oklahoma. Texas A&M doesn't look very. They look decent, but they don't look amazing. I wouldn't say they look better than Bama. Mizzou's pretty good, but we'll see about that this weekend. South Carolina, Mizzou beat a crippled South Carolina team. South Carolina looks okay, but their receiving core is still not there. Who else? Bama beat Georgia, so you can't say Georgia. Really and truly, I feel like it's between Alabama, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. And Auburn gave Oklahoma fits. Auburn gave Texas A&M fits. And I feel like Bama has a more established offense at the current moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bama does look like the best team in the SEC right now. Auburn could be, but we gotta play some offense, man. But we can't. I mean, play calling is bad right now in Auburn when you have 3 offensive coordinators. But yeah, Bama looks like the best team in the SEC right now as it is.
As of right now, if they continue now, they have a hard schedule for the rest of the year. You got Missouri this week, and then after that, you got a hard
Missouri.
5 game
Missouri's gonna
stretch.
be. I feel like I'll still come out to win, but it's gonna be a trap game. 11 a.m. at Missouri.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Usually in those 11 a.m. road games, the away team plays pretty bad. Unless you're South Carolina last year.
Yeah.
Coming to Bama, that was kind of scary. But you got Missouri, and then you got Tennessee right after that, which is going to be a huge game. And then you got South Carolina right after that. And then you got, I think it's a bye week, and LSU at home. So either way, I mean, hard schedule ahead of Bama, but things are looking promising, and you're getting better week by week. And I don't think you've seen the best version of Alabama yet, which is very good to say. Because like last week, right? You saw your offense kind of come up and take on, or you've seen your defense be able to take over a game in the second half of game. Like you hold Vanderbilt to 19 rushing yards in the second half and no points on the board for Vanderbilt. Against Georgia, you saw your offense be able to establish drives and run the clock down to be able to win the game in the second half. So stuff is promising. You're starting to see both sides of the ball really be able to work, and you're starting to see things click, and that's great to see. Kalen DeBoer looks locked in. I can't lie to you.
There's one thing I like it looked like the old Crimson Tide. Second quarter, I think 46 seconds to go, and Ty Simpson goes down the field and scores. That was impressive.
I'm glad you said that.
That looked like an old Alabama team right there.
I'm glad.
Like fourth quarter, a minute ago, Bama's going to score. But lately it hasn't been like that. But this game, that impressed me a lot with Ty Simpson doing that.
I'm really glad you brought that up because I honestly almost just completely forgot about that. That's one of the biggest drives of the game is the fact that you get the ball with I think it was a minute and some odd second. I think it was like a minute and 5 seconds left in the first, and you string together 5-6 big plays. I think it was 6 big plays to be able to score. And Vanderbilt's going into half, and they think, okay, we're going to have the lead at half, and you're able to drive down the field and score and tie the ball game up, knowing Vanderbilt's going to get the ball, knowing that, hey, we're not going to get down by 2 scores now. Huge. Great job by Alabama.
Very impressive by Ty Thompson.
Going off of that now, going off the Vandy and Alabama game, we'll talk about some of the other matchups in this week that we saw some surprises. You got your preseason number 1, preseason number 2 that have fallen out of the top 25 now, and Penn State and Texas. Texas gets has a game in Florida that you just really never saw him get comfortable. Arch Manning, I don't know what's going on. He just doesn't look the part right now. I don't know if he's hurt or what. Like I'm just throwing stuff at a wall to see if it works because before this year, like he was supposed to be the guy.
I don't know, man. Arch Manning is not living up to his name right now. I mean, it's his first year starting. I think he still needs to get more experience in. I'm not sure if he's going to want to go to the NFL after this year. I wouldn't.
No way.
And I don't know if Texas is going to keep him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with Texas right now, but it's not looking good for the Texas Longhorns.
No doubt. And then also Penn State, you go to UCLA. They're without a head coach, without an offensive coordinator, without a DC. And they have Nico, who's probably one of the most hated players in college football that everybody's like, oh, Nico does this, Nico does that. And they come out and they just like put it on them to start the game. I mean, Penn State tried to battle back in. But what about James Franklin, man? You're like, okay, everybody thinks I can't win the big game. Let me go out here and lose one that I should have won. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody thinks I can't beat the Oregons at Ohio State. Well, let me show you that I can't beat UCLA either. I'm kind of hating on James Franklin. He's a good coach, but there's just some things that you got to answer, and there's some things that you can't let happen.
No,
What do you think about Penn State?
like we said last week, I think just Penn State's offense does not look impressive to me. Drew Aller doesn't look impressive. I mean, they got their running backs, but Drew Aller just don't look impressive to me. And then Penn State's defense is supposed to be really good, and they have looked really good. That's what helped their offense out so much is getting turnovers and put them in decent yardage on the other side of the ball. But
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Penn State either. I mean,
You know, Drew Aller really didn't even play terrible in this game. And that's the crazy thing is because you look at his stats, he went 19 for 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he rushed for 78 yards on 11 carries.
all right.
And it's like, so where did it all go wrong, right? And you want to know where it all went wrong? 3 fumbles, 1 lost. So that's 1 turnover there. And then you also have UCLA. I mean, Nico came out not Nico, sorry, the rushing attack for UCLA and Nico running the ball just absolutely killed him. You want to hear Nico's rushing stats? I don't know if you've heard them yet. 16 carries, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Anthony Woods goes for 63 on 14. Javion Thomas goes for 16 on 60. Like, Penn State got gashed, and they're not. It's Penn State. They're not. Their defense is not supposed to be gashed. So, really, really interesting game there for UCLA comes out and gets to such a big lead and barely held on. Penn State, I don't know what's going on with them, but they got a lot of answering to do and a lot of stuff because I don't even know who's the redemption game for the rest of the season. I guess Ohio State, right? And you see them in 3 weeks, so you better get ready. Yeah,
They got Ohio State, Indiana still. Don't forget Iowa. Iowa's a pretty decent team too.
They got Nebraska.
They also got Nebraska. That's their 4 games that they have that people will compete in.
So what's your opinion on James Franklin? Do you think, like, after this year, like, you keep him just because he's had such good winning seasons? Like, he's won, but he hasn't gotten past this, like, mental gap that you feel is there.
He can't beat the big team, and then you can't go out and lose against 0-4 UCLA, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Penn State needs to move on from him or what, man. But he's a really good coach. I mean, his record shows it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if the game is just growing on him, or just bad game plans. I don't
know. Lots of shifting in the top 25 this week for college football. We're just completely recapping everything, right? We'll talk about shifting for the top 25. And I mean, those 2 fall out, right? You got Ohio State that stays up the top. I've heard a lot of people say that Ohio State, that Oregon should be up there, but there's no reason to move Ohio State back because they haven't done anything wrong. Also, a game that we didn't talk about is Miami, Florida State. What did you think about that game? And I think Miami's a real deal. Like, I think all around they are.
They look like the most dominant team in college football right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I mean, you could say Ohio State, but they don't look very impressive to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Miami looks impressive on both sides of the ball. Like, they could have beat Florida State by a good amount, but they were playing more conservative in the second half. But Miami is a different breed this year. No one thought that their defense would come together this year, but they have. That defensive front and that secondary have. So Miami's the real deal, I believe.
One thing I want to ask you: there's 2 2-loss teams, right, in college football that's ranked in the top 25.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Florida State. Who do you think's ranked higher?
Notre Dame is.
They're not. I mean, they are. Sorry.
They are. Yeah.
Are. Listen to this. I thought you were going to say Florida State. I really did. No, but Notre Dame. What do you think about that? So Florida State beat Alabama, but it definitely isn't the same Alabama team. Like Alabama has improved since then. Like
Yeah.
you saw a shell of an Alabama team, but Notre Dame has beat what Purdue, Arkansas. Let's see, just so I don't get this wrong and get absolutely bashed. Purdue, Arkansas, and Boise State.
Man, that's going to be the whole season. The rest of the season, they're going to win out.
And they lost. Now it's a total of 4 points they lost by, but they did lose to Texas A&M. You know, and they did lose to Miami.
They
They lost
lost
by 3
against
to Miami, but
they lost against Texas A&M at home, didn't they?
yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. And it was at the end of the game. I mean, should they be higher? But I mean, they're ranked number 16 in the country. It's a 3-2 team, ranked 16. Now, do I think they may be better than some of the teams that are in front of them? Yes, but I just don't understand how they remained in the top. They were 0-2 in the top 25 still, and I understand that their losses were only by a 4 point margin between the two of them. But man, that's
But
crazy
like
to me.
you can say the same thing about Auburn. I mean, we lost against 2 top 10 teams right now, and
Yeah,
lost by what I think 6 or 7 points.
yeah.
Oklahoma and Texas A&M. I mean, you can say Auburn can be ranked right now, but I don't know, man. These rankings, AP rankings don't really matter right now either. So
Yeah.
when
Indiana,
does the actual rankings start mattering?
those like playoff rankings. I think it's week 8 or 9. Um. Anyways, Indiana, they're ranked at 7. Alabama at 8. Texas Tech at 9. Texas Tech has looked good. They looked good against Houston yesterday. Um. You got Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. You kind of got your SEC teams, grouped up right there. What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think that this Tennessee team is going to remain in the top 12 throughout the rest of the season?
I gotta see their schedule. Hold on. So they got Arkansas. They'll win that game. Alabama. I don't know. that's gonna be a tough game.
They got Oklahoma
Uh,
after that, after they play Kentucky, which they should be able to get through
yeah.
Kentucky. And then they also have Florida and Vanderbilt on the back end.
And Florida. I mean, Florida play like they did against Texas. I mean,
I spoke with Fletcher earlier, right? Which people on the podcast may not know Fletcher, but I'm sure he'll join us one day. And he made a point. He said, whenever Billy Napier has his back against the wall and you think he's about done, he's about to get out of there, he wins a game.
yeah.
And it's the truest. I mean, Billy Napier's back against the wall. DJ Lagway is horrendous. The Florida whole program is falling apart. Lane Kiffin's coming next year, and he beats Texas. And now where are you at? You get your star freshman wide receiver, Dallas Wilson, back, and then you beat Texas, and it's like, okay, this season could turn around. We got to keep Billy Napier. So interesting one.
I feel like it's. I mean, you still can turn around, but I feel like it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 3 losses. You kind of f yourself in the long run.
No doubt. This upcoming weekend, we got a couple of good games for you. We're gonna have 4 or 5 reviews this week. One of them being the Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon, Indiana. We'll do the Oklahoma, Texas, Bama, Missouri, and Georgia, Auburn games. Another one that people aren't talking about is LSU, South Carolina. We may get around to doing that. It really just depends on what our schedule looks like. But a lot of good games this week. Potential for a lot of movement in the rankings. The Mizzou Bama game I'm scared about. We'll talk about that more. If you haven't already, you need to check us out on TikTok and Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at the RD Podcast. RJ, is there anything you'd like to say before we get out?
No, man. War Eagle and follow, like, share, and just be kind.
Be kind. One thing we didn't talk about. Auburn squeaks by the bye weekend.
I know.
I mean, 2.1 safety. But anyways, this has
it was boring, but it felt good not to lose.
Yeah. Maybe they got some stuff figured out on offense. Maybe we'll come back. We'll see a different Auburn team. A lot of talent on that team still. They're definitely going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Like I want to see some of Jackson Arnold getting under the center balls and taking snaps from there. And pause, no homo. But I want to see some single back and some I form, some play action out of that, and some runs out of that. I mean, I haven't seen that in a while. You know, Hugh Freeze just got to run the damn ball. Run the damn ball and open up the pass game by running the damn ball. And I promise you, Jackson Arnold would look amazing like he did against Baylor. I mean, he only threw 17 times against Baylor, and we
Yeah.
ran 52. And no one was talking about, oh, how bad Jackson Arnold is. No, because we were running the ball and opening up the pass game by running the ball.
Well,
it's not complicated. We'll talk about that.
hold on. Don't use all your material yet. We still got to do the Georgia.
We'll talk
But
about that.
this has been the RD podcast. Appreciate you for tuning in. Catch out RJ's takes on the Georgia Auburn game. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting podcast. Auburn has the ability to do a lot of great things this week. There's a lot of teams that have the ability to be knocked out of the top 25 or knocked down. It's going to be a good weekend or a good week, of college football this week. Catch us next time. This has been the RD podcast. My name's Dalton.